I am super excited to be here. I must say it is really a dream come true. I was here the first time last year, and I was sitting there in the audience, and I was really amazed by all these inspiring talks, and even more by all the people I met after. And I really feel this community is very driven, and everybody is very excited to build something. So it's really cool that 1 year later now I'm standing here. Thank you so much, Software Mansion, for making it possible. All right, then let's get into it. First, I want to introduce myself a little bit. Hi, I'm the second Gabriel of the day. The first one was Gabriel Donadel from Expo with a great talk earlier about Expo Orbit. A few things about me. I'm 32, I'm from Germany, and here's some random fun facts. I like to make coffee. This is our dog Nova. Yes, please give it up. Yeah, it's a beautiful dachshund that my fiancé and I adopted. And then, last fun fact is this one. 6 years ago, I wrote my bachelor thesis on React Native and React and how do you transform a website into an app back and forth. And yeah, I feel like this has grown pretty well from then. I feel like back then it was a bit more niche. So yeah, I kind of stuck to that whole thing, and I'm here 6 years later. And yeah, to describe my journey a little bit over these years, I found this meme on Twitter. Maybe a few of you know it already, maybe more. It's a great meme. I think it also describes a little bit historically the history of Expo, or of the React Native ecosystem together with Expo. Back then, everybody loved it. We were all new, and we loved the Expo app doing everything for us. And then we were like, actually, we need to do this and that. We need to eject this. It's horrible. Let's get back to React Native. So I worked over the last years a lot with React Native in different companies in Berlin. And yeah, now I'm back to Expo, and I'm super excited to talk about what we're doing today at Expo at the company that I'm working on, which is Kadmos, where I'm lead mobile engineer. So let me introduce Kadmos a little bit. So, a little bit about the company. Kadmos is a Berlin-based fintech. Yeah, it was founded 3 years ago, and in the end, it's an end-to-end salary payments platform. Yeah, and what that means, I will get to in a second. But also unique about Kadmos, it focuses on migrant workers. And it looks kind of like this. I took this from a website. It looks a bit pixelated, but yeah, this is kind of the platform we built. It's a web-based accounting platform that, yeah, basically companies can use to pay salaries to a digital wallet, which is then this mobile app that we built. And yeah, we do this among other services, but today I want to talk about this mobile app. And it was already introduced to you. A special thing about Kadmos is also that it is, since Kadmos started, they were focusing, or we are still focusing on a very special market, which is the global shipping industry. And yeah, what does it mean working with the global shipping industry, and in this case with seafarers? To explain, or to give you a bit of context, I want to take you on a journey, and yeah, the first journey I want to take you on is the journey of our seafarer. The seafarer, his name is Manoy. He's Filipino, like a lot of seafarers out there. And he's currently on a container ship in the middle of the ocean. And he has an old Android phone. And that's actually the reality for a lot of our users, for our app users. And he has a new SIM card. So that's also pretty common in this industry. People, they switch countries a lot, contracts a lot, going to different companies, different daughter companies, and they switch their phones or their SIM card. And in this case, Manoy just purchased a new SIM card, and the salary is a bit tough, so normally he would purchase a prepaid SIM card which has 500 megabytes for the month. Yes, so, and I also did a thing. I'm actually pretty creative, but I feel like this is what you have to do these days. So that's it. Yeah. So that's Manoj, and the second journey I want to take you on today is the journey of the mobile team. And the mobile team, the mobile team actually only has one mission, and the mission is how can we support Manoj with some awesome tech? So we just heard about the special needs he has or the special requirements, and yeah, how can we, what can we do about it as a mobile team? And again, this is the mobile team. Seafarer looks a bit weird. Okay, just to give you a bit of visuals. All right, so what do we do what do we do to achieve that? So what we do at Kadmos or as a mobile team, first thing, pessimistic UI. I'm sure a lot of you heard about optimistic UI, and yeah, of course I made that up. It's not really a thing, but what it means working in a fintech is that we cannot really predict how the UI is going to change, especially on low connectivity on the ocean. I actually was talking to Aaron yesterday about Starlink and how actually more and more satellites are actually increasing the networks over the oceans, but still we have a lot of data that shows evidently a lot of space is still unoccupied or very poor connections. So we have to make sure, obviously, as a fintech, we show up-to-date numbers, the balance is not from yesterday, and the transaction go out after the request, the UI updates it. So not optimistic. Next thing is local last. Another thing I made up. Local first, I think, is amazing, but similar use case. We need to be up to date, like I mentioned already. And yeah, lightweight payloads. I think that's also thing that a lot of you people are familiar with. In general, we're trying to keep payloads lightweight, paginate data, and yeah, we're doing that a lot as well. And the last thing that I want to mention now is the pipeline that we adjusted towards this need. And this is actually the part that I want to go a bit more into detail now. So, the pipeline. The pipeline, yeah, I'll go through it super quick. Basically, we've seen earlier that Expo allows you with EAS build and EAS update to integrate this really well also in your CI or use the CLI to be able to have these pull request preview builds, and we're doing a bit differently. We are actually having a testing and a staging build on both TestFlight and Google Play Beta. And we're continuously basically delivering new features, new fixes to our testing app. A lot of people have access to it that are QAing, that are testing, design, and functional. And once everything is tested, it would be promoted to our staging app, which is the green one. This is also where the end-to-end tests run. And this is basically, in ideal case, a mirror of production. I'm sure there are many of you out there that have also really nice pipelines. I'm not claiming this is the best one. This is how we do it. And then, last but not least, we have our production app. And this is obviously on Google Play Store, on the Apple Store, but also on Huawei App Gallery, which is also quite interesting, and I'll also get a bit into that later. And then a very vague overview, what happens then. Like I mentioned, every time we create a new version, we have semantic versions, and these new versions, they would then create new versions in our version service. And this is an entity of our version, which describes what exactly has happened there. And this version service is validating with different APIs Like you can see, the different store APIs would be validating if, for example, a production app would be available to promote or to download for the user. But also we're using the updates API from Expo to validate if a new over-the-air update is available. And how we decide if we will promote a new bundle version or a new over-the-air version, I will get also to in a second. But the last step here is basically we have a manual version control. We decide this version is optional or mandatory, and then this would, via the EAS update hook, for example, with the over-the-air updates, this would then go back to the app. Yeah, I think this is a bit cryptic, but that's why I actually prepared a little demo to make this a bit more understandable. So, yeah, this is actually a very, very simple demo, but I really wanted to do a demo. So, let's say we have, let's get back to Manoi. We have a new payment provider integrated now into our app. This is a fictional example. It doesn't really happen like that, but let's just say we have a new provider and we support a new payment method for Manoi. And what we're trying to do at Kadmos is basically give these seafarers really great conditions. So we try to work with local banks in their home countries, in this case Philippines, and we want to give them a great condition to have the best sort of fees or the best transaction method to pay, to remit money to his family. So we have a new payment providers, and so far only Germany was supported. Now, we add Philippines. Yeah, very real life example. And then I would here go to my VS Code and say, so, and I would promote this to our testing environment. And to save you guys the time, let's push this, just as an example, but because we don't want to wait for our pipeline, I already prepared this for you. So this is basically, this is basically how it looks like. The current pipeline is like a GitHub pipeline, and this is obviously the one for our testing app. I don't want to go too much into details. There are a lot of things happening here. But one thing I want to go a bit more into detail is this beautiful GitHub action from Expo. As you guys realize, I'm talking a lot about Expo today. And this fingerprint, if you guys heard about it, it basically enabled us to compare bytecode or to compare the current app version with the future app version that we are in this case merging into. So this comparison enables us, it gives us a JSON file. It looks kind of like this. And it also gives us some hashes, and these hashes give us the possibility to compare these two different bundles. And via the fingerprint, in this case on the testing, we decide if there are no changes actually in the native code, then we can run an over-the-air update. So via EAS update, we would, instead of creating a new bundle on test flight, we would here create an over-the-air update, as you can see here. So this takes 4 minutes. And then what happens next, I will show you in a minute. But before I do that, let's get back to the presentation and let's show you something else. This right here is Manoi's phone. Actually, it's unrealistic because he wouldn't have all these apps, but let's say he has the Kadmos app on his phone. This is actually an Android 9 Samsung phone, S8 I think. And I skipped through this video a little bit because I think I'm pretty ahead of time. But I think the important part here is I was just measuring very roughly the data consumption. So here we have 1.1 gigabytes used. What I do then, I go back into the app. I realize there's a new update for my app. I'm actually doing the staging app, as you can see here. And then I'm downloading the app. It's 35 megabytes, which it's pretty good, I would say. I mean, I think in general, Expo is doing an amazing job in also keeping bundles very low. Yeah, but yeah, it's still 35 megabytes. Remember, Manoj only has 500 megabytes per month, so 35 megabytes is really something. And yeah, at the very end, you will see, in total, this is here, went from 110 to 114, so 40 megabytes were consumed in this whole process. And actually now, I didn't really go to the actual App Store, and probably it would be even a little bigger. And then let's get back to the demo, and actually, I will get out of here. Yeah, I actually connected my phone. This is now my phone, iPhone, but this would also be something that would happen yeah, to an Android phone the same. So what I'm showing you now is basically what happens after we have run this pipeline with EAS update and we updated our app over the air because we realized we just changed one line of TypeScript code, just JavaScript, no native code has changed. So we go into our app, and then here, yeah, don't mind this network error, that's probably from the proxy, but as you can see here, we have an update modal, which comes when we open the app, and it basically tells us, oh, it's time to update, it's mandatory, I can, sorry, it's non-mandatory, it's optional, so I can also choose not to download this one, but in this case, I'm pressing download, the app restarts, and we're back. And yeah, I opened this proxy in advance to show, so yeah, as you can see, this is a smaller number. I think there were also some other things going in the background, but I think you get the point. Then the numbers are a lot lower. So why am I showing you this? And that gets me already to the summary of my talk. Yeah, obviously the easy calculation here is we have limited amount of megabytes, and it seems like the thing to do to post an easy update like this over the air instead of updating the entire app bundle for something like this. And this is actually a real use case that we have at Kadmos, where, yes, of course, stuff like this doesn't happen on a daily basis. We don't have to add countries to an array, but we do have the case where we need to adjust certain things, and we want to be able, as the mobile team, to support as best as possible. So, yeah, EAS updates really gives us these abilities. So, to summarize, yeah, it's an amazing tool in general, I feel, for CI/CD, for our release flows week after week, pushing out updates, very essential also in fintech to be up to date, also legally to always provide an up-to-date experience. And yeah, the updates help us to fix lightning fast, or to release lightning fast fixes, to ship them in shipping, and with low bandwidth. And the last thing I want to summarize from this talk is, yeah, as you have seen, we built this version service, which gives us a little bit more the ability to decide what versions to release. And I didn't get too much into it. I probably could have mentioned some more things, but feel free to ask me. But in the end, the point is to have this flexibility on top of Expo to decide which versions we want to roll out and which versions maybe we want to roll out as an optional version, both for bundle versions, but also for EAS update. So I want to encourage also all of you, let's build great things on top of great things. Thank you. Bring it back. Hello? There's one last thing. Yeah, no, so again, this I wanted to show you as well. This is the mobile team and the Seafarer hand in hand. But there's one more thing that I really wanted to mention, and then I'm done, which is, yeah, you have all seen this great talk earlier, amazing, obviously, from Evan Bacon, React Server Components, and from what I understand, also this is the vision for Expo, right? Coming from EAS updates, what's the next logical step to updating over the air your entire JavaScript would be to update only parts of your UI. And so also at Kadmos we're looking into this technology, but I think it's really exciting and it is really the future for a lot of use cases. Maybe not for ours, but again, we have this, like I mentioned, this use case. Let's say a very small change can make a difference for us. So yeah, that sounds like could be a server component that is fetched to change something. So that's it. And now the music can play. And thank you very much. This is my Twitter. And yeah, thank you.